Hey up guys, welcome back. Richie here from RW Hobbies, part number 3. Yes, we're on the third part already of Tamiya's 48 scale F-14B, the Tomcat. Now, this part, a little sneak preview, we're going to build the cockpit tub. So we're going to use a beautiful Quinta Studios set, and as you can see, we can paint up some pilot figures. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so on to part number 3. Parts 1 and 2, we did this already, so if you want miss that, go back and check it out. Or it's already done. And now we're going to work on the cockpit tub. And I mentioned before, it's one of my favorite things to do modeling right now. I really love the Quinta Studio sets and upgrading these cockpits. Definitely so in this case because, I mean, you don't really have decals for the side panels, I don't think, and a lot of hand painting, which can be a little bit tricky. So this makes things a little bit easier. So instructions, going right back to the beginning again. So steps 1 through to 5, basically we're going to do. So just basically cutting the panels off and take the Quinta set, and we're basically going to, anything red, parts are red, we're basically going to sand away all the detail to make it smooth and basically glue on these beautiful panels. And we do have seat belts too, but I think I'm going to go with the pilots, so probably put the pilot figures in first and then maybe manipulate the seat belts over them if applicable. But yeah, so that's, and then somehow on these Tamiya kits you have to go way back. You do the seats way at the end. So also in this part, we're going to do the seats in the figure, which is 37 and 38. So we're going to roll right forward through the instructions to get that part done today as well. So let me move these out of the way. Oh, I should mention too, obviously this is a late A model, and as you know, we're doing a B. So fortunately, we have like the A kind of instrumentation here in the back seat. And for the B, we have the updated, the square, not the round. So we're following C, which is this one part right here. And we're going to use these parts. Anywhere it says C is what parts we're going to use to get my B version. Unfortunately, in this set, we have both options in the Quinta Studios set, so we're covered. So again, we're going with the square one, not the round one, because we're doing a B version. Now here's parts laid out. Basically going to start chomping off the pieces, side panels, and cockpit tub. And over these sprues, we have the seats. Again, we're going to add figures, so we don't care too much about seats. I think they look pretty good the way, so I don't need resin seats. I think they look pretty good. The cushions here are on separate sprues as well. And there we go. That's pretty much it, really. Just take care, go through the instructions, make sure you're cutting off the right pieces, because again, we have 2 different versions of cockpit in this kit. So just take care, get the pieces cut off, which I'm going to do right now. Get them sanded down, and then we come back and we talk through getting these Quinta Studio panels on, which I've done many times before on the channel. Okay, so it took some time to get the cockpit tub built and ready for the Quinta Studio stuff. So basically, it's nice because these panels are separate. So before I put these panels on, I gave them a sand with a coarse sanding stick just to get rid of all that raised detail, smooth them out for each of the panels, then glued them on. To include the stick in and the other detail like the rudder pedals and stuff. We're just going to paint it all at once. So the cockpit tub's ready for paint. Instrument panels again. Careful using the instructions. Make sure we're using the right variant for the C variant. There's a clear part goes behind here. Just fell out. I haven't glued it in yet. I'm going to need to probably glue it and then just mask the lens maybe. I need to look at that a little bit more detailed before I work on that one. This back panel here, it's going to be easy just to paint it. This set I have is more the light version. I think Quinta Studios for like a little bit more money, you can get more of a bigger kind of set, which has the side panels and the back here. I don't need to spend that money. So I'm just going to need to hand paint those, well, mask up, paint the various colors on here, and this will just slot in the back. This kit is absolutely perfect fit. Built several of these before, and it's legendary. And if you like any kind of modern aircraft, you need one of these in your stash. Some kind of Tamiya F-14, whether it be the A plus, or the D. So yeah, just so basically knocked out, to be honest with you, the first 2 pages, the first 5, zoom out a little bit here, the first 5 sections we've done, we've assembled, and now it's just a case of painting it. So yeah, there we go. So I'm going to get this primed up, painted, usual dark gold gray for the interior. And once that's done, and dried, we'll come back and we'll start applying these beautiful Quinta Studios detail set. Okay, so we've got everything painted up, and the color for the cockpit I used was Guns 306, which is dark gold gray, I believe. So everything painted up, and we've got decals. I've done this plenty of times before, but we'll run through the first couple together, and I'll do the rest off camera. But basically, follow the instructions. Again, the red ones you sand down, as you can see. I've sanded down before I painted, and basically you're going to take your sheet. Now they're not decals. There's nothing adhesive to them. They're just put on the backing paper. So I'll take this panel here, number 44, cut it off my sheet using some like nice little sewing scissors. Make things really easy to cut. And I use my Tamiya decal tweezers, which again I talk about all the time. Everybody should have a pair of these. They're absolutely amazing. And literally just going to dip it in a bit of water. Doesn't need to be hot. Cold water's fine. And that's just going to release it from the backing paper, and then we're going to glue it down onto the cockpit tub. Now, different brands have different ways of doing it. Some just dip in water real quick to come right off. Some other brands, you might need to soak them in hot water. Some don't even need water. They just ping right off. I think Red Fox, you don't need water to just peel right off the backing paper. But these are Quinta Studios, so this is how I do the Quinta Studio one. And to glue it, I use Gator Grip's Thin Blend, basically just a thin PVA glue. Now, don't rush out just to buy this just for this project. Just use any PVA glue, and if it's a little thick, just add a drop of water to thin it down. And as you can see there, here's the glue. So I'm basically going to put the glue on where I want to apply the decal, or the detail, and it's going to go right here. So I'm just going to spread a little bit of glue on here using a toothpick, and then I'm just going to get my part here, and I'm going to stick it on. Now I'm using white glue because it gives me plenty of time to move this thing around. If I had like a very small like handle or something I was going to apply, I'd probably just use super glue. But again, white glue is the way to go because again, super glue will stick right away. Here I got time to manipulate it and get exactly where I want it to be. So I want it just on the edge there, and with a Q-tip I could just rub away any excess. Now it will dry clear anyway, so it's not a big deal. Okay, I just want it flush against the side here, so I'm just going to use my side of my tweezers and kind of push it against it and just kind of line it up like so. So that's pretty straightforward. Now the one behind it is number 3427. It's kind of hard to read on that. Nine. Okay, so 31. Yeah, okay, I'm reading. So the H numbers are actually kit parts, in the red, and the blue numbers are actually the Quinta Studio one on the instructions here. So just kind of figuring that out real quick. So again, I need number 31 for the back here. So again, I'm just going to cut it out. Be careful what you cut around. Dip it in water, and by the time I apply the glue, it'll be ready to remove. Quick as that. And look at the positioning here. It looks like it's like a little bit behind. Oh, there maybe. And again, not a glue. Not a problem, it dries clear again, but you can just dab it off. Just going to reposition it. And there we go. Like that. And again, you can see the detail and I would never be able to do anything like that with myself with a paintbrush or a pen. So I think it looks really awesome. So what the only other tip when you get to the instrument panel, we have lots of different decals. Just do a couple, let them dry for an hour, then do some more. Because if you try to do them all at once, they're going to move around. It'll be a nightmare. So just do it in stages, like you do normal decals, pretty much. And that really is it. I mean, there's not too much to it. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty foolproof. And using that white glue again, you have plenty of working time. I've probably got half an hour I can move those around. So I'm going ahead and I did notice I forgot to paint the throttle and the sticks. So I'm going to paint those before I apply this side of the decal, so I make it a little bit easier. And then I'll get these rest of the Quinta Studios stuff on there. Okay, so we're done with the cockpit tub. As you can see, I'm zoomed in pretty aggressively here, and hopefully you can kind of see how good it looks. That's the Quinta Studios for you. Didn't glue these instrument panels in. They're really good fit. I don't think I need to glue them in, to be honest with you. They just kind of slot right in. So that's all done. Look a little grimy because I added, as always, what do I use? I use Starship Filth neat oils. Just made a little wash up, which you've seen me do a million times before, and just dabbed on some of that oil wash just to give it a little bit of grime. Now, I did mention earlier in the video that it didn't come with the, it's a light version, didn't come with the back or the side decals, but I was wrong. As you can see, we do have decals for the back here, for the fuses, and for the side panels here too. We have we have details for there as well. So yeah, so it does have everything in here, and also we haven't got that stage yet, but we do have all the seat belts and the handles and stuff for the seats. So yeah, there we go. Again, beautiful. Love doing that. And we do have some left over because, as I mentioned before, there's several different versions, and you have panels for various versions. So you have to kind of follow along the instructions and make sure you use the right one. So that's done. So we're done with the tub. We've done the side. These just glue on. We didn't glue them on yet because I don't want to block the view so you can see inside the actual tub itself. Now we're going to work on the seats. So seats, I got the plastic here somewhere. And as a reminder, now we've done kind of steps. Zoom back out. Now we've done the kind of steps 1 to 5, basically. Move this out of the way so I don't damage it. Now we've done steps 1 to 5. We kind of move on to the nose gear bay and stuff. So we're going to skip forward instructions all the way to like parts 37, page 19. And you can see here. So we're going to make the seats. Again, we're on the CD version, so we're on this one, not this one. So again, everything we do is C, because we're making the Tomcat, the B version. It's confusing these letters. So C variant in the instructions, we're going to build different cushions. So we're going to build these seats, the later seats, and we will do the glare shields. And we'll also do, I was probably doing that earlier on, to be honest with you. And we're also doing the pilot figures. Now, I'm going to attempt to do pilot figures. I'm not a figure painter, but I've had pretty good success recently. And I did pick this up, which helps too. The 3G acrylic paints from AK, the US Modern Pilot uniform colors. So, I have this in hand. So, any pilots, just use this box right here. It has pretty much all the colors you need in there. So, yeah, that's the game plan. So, I'm going to start working on the seat, come back, see how that looks. We get going with the figure. Figure works great, we'll put it on the seat. If for whatever reason the figure turns out looking like a burns victim, we will just do the seats empty. So we have some options available to us. So let me get to work and we'll be right back. Excuse my dirty, well-worn cutting mat. At some point I will replace it, but hey, it works fine, so why do it, replace it, right? But seats built, again, just pay attention which parts you're using. These cushions on F you're not using for the B version, which I'm building using the other cushions. And basically assembled what I can, and paint the cushions separately. These are going to be black. They're going to be different color, khaki or whatever color they are. Got the glare shields there, and as you noticed, I've cut off all the little handles there on the top and on the bottom parts because we obviously have the Quinta Studio ones here, which are a lot nicer and detailed and will look a lot better. So there we go. So ready for paint and get this all. Get ready for painted, primed and painted up. For the usual black, I just use Mr. Surfacer 1500 black, and that's a perfect color for the seats. I don't need to do anything more. Again, I'll follow the instructions for the other colors. Okay, so moving the top out of the way, we've got the seats done, no problem at all. Basically, follow per instructions, buff, and as always, little Agraf's Earthshade Citadel wash, just an acrylic brown wash, just for the seat cushion. You see, I've added the Quinta Studios, those yellow and the grab handles right there. The ejection seat looking very good as I super glued those on, those two. Little dry brushing with some silver, and added the decals, just a couple on the top there. And that is the seat. So that's one, and obviously we have two, exactly the same. As you see, a drill hole at the bottom just to stick a toothpick in. Makes it a lot easier painting and handling. So they're done. The glare shields are done. Painted per instructions again. You see, same wash, Agraf's Earthshade, just on the top there. Applied, a little bit heavy, might need to dial it back a little bit. And the front painted too, with the weird combination of purple and earth to get this color. I think I've added a little bit too much purple, but anyway, there we go. So that's all painted. Also have to do now is the pilot figures. So we got the pilot and we have the Rio glued together. I got their arm positions. I kind of lined them up inside the tub and kind of got it right. He has his hands on his knees. So that's pretty straightforward. So now it's a case of really just painting these up and seeing how they look. So I'll kind of sit on there somewhat, I guess. Yep, so I'll paint them up, see how they look, and if they look okay, we'll glue them to the seat. If they look terrible, I will just put the straps on. Okay, so we painted them up, and actually not looking so bad at all. Just using the AK set, plus a few generic colors like white and black. And yeah, painted them up. Just gave it a little wash of the same we used for the seat, the Agraf's Earthshade. That's hard to say today. Again, just a simple brown acrylic wash, and just with a brush, basically just splurged it on. No problems at all. I'm not really qualified to talk about any kind of figure painting, as you can see, but just my quick tip would be, whenever I'm painting base colors, I always like the bigger flat brushes. I find it just a lot easier just to paint the main colors, and then just use the smaller, pointier brushes for the detail. As I mentioned many times before, don't go too small, because if you go too small, like 00, 50, 10, 0, you can get no paint on the brush, and it's kind of counterintuitive. So size 1 or size 2. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a size 2. Size 1 or size 2, and you actually paint much easier detail with a bigger that size brush. And yeah, and again, another tip, when you're painting acrylic paints, add some water, get them nice and thin, and yeah, so just flow on. You don't put thick paint on. That was a mistake I made when I was a child, painting stuff with but just a thin coat, maybe 2 coats. And again, yeah, that's my quick little tip. So mocking it up here, seat, I just didn't glue in, I just placed in and see if I could fit the guy in, and I can actually shoehorn him in. Obviously, nice thing is, kit part with Tamiya, so you know it's going to fit. It's not like an aftermarket, we have to cut the legs off and the arms and stuff to make it fit. Now, if I do glue the seat in with a touch of super glue, I have found I can actually get him in there and slide him in. I don't do it, break those off, but I can slide him in after the fact, and it's going to look pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and get these guys put in, and then we'll finish up the video. Okay, so as you see, zoomed in quite far here, and we are done. So part figures in, and it's nice because they're naturally posing to the left there, which makes sense because it's going to be on the flight deck, about to be launched from the catapult, so looking over at the shooter, I guess. But came together really nicely, and again, Quinta Studios for the win. Absolutely amazing. And oh, helps them in camera, so you get an idea of what we're looking at. And literally just applied a little bit of gloss varnish to the helmet to make it a little bit shinier, so it's still wet. But everything fits together, no problem at all. And these bits are just loose. If I move these off, you can probably see a little bit better in there. Oh, don't want to drop it. There we go. That's probably a good shot to see it. So there we go. Another one done. If you like this one, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time where we'll continue on. Next up, we're going to build the sub-assembly below it from the nose gear bay and start putting the fuselage together. So thank you for watching as always. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.